Welcome kids to our review on the order of operations. Throughout this video we're going to be doing some sample problems, and each time I look at the screen and I just hold up my hand, I want you guys to always click pause on your screen, that way you can work out the problem. I'm not going to pause myself, so I'm just going to keep going after I put my hand up. But just make sure you know that when the hand goes up like this, you guys hit pause until you're done doing what you're doing. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Just as a reminder, we have the acronym that we say PEMDAS, but it stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. For some of you that might not remember it, you can think of our crazy Aunt Sally that you always have to apologize to everyone for, and you can say, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." We all have a crazy Aunt Sally. And don't forget, see how we have our brackets around the M and the D, and then the A and the S? You guys remember what that means? It means that we can switch the D and the M, or we could switch the A or the S. They're kind of like on the same playing field. So when it gets to a problem that has only multiplication and division, or if it only has addition and subtraction, you just go from left to right. Whatever comes first in the problem, that's what you get done. Okay, so, you guys think you're ready? Alright, here we go. The first problem is we have 3 plus 2 times 4 equals x. So go ahead and pause and get it worked out on your own, and then we will come back. Okay, so what you should have done is you would say to yourself, we have addition and we have multiplication. So according to the order of operations, we know that multiplication needs to come before addition. So we need to start with that, which is the 2 times 4, which is 8. So remember, write the answer underneath it, and then bring the rest of the problem down so we don't get confused. So now we should have 3 plus 8 equals x. And let's remember that it's going to look like an upside down pyramid that we're doing, to where we get our final answer here to just show the value of x, that variable for the problem. So now all we have is an addition problem, so 3 plus 8 equals 11. And don't forget to keep bringing down the equal sign in x so we can always show what that variable is equal to. Okay, hopefully that problem was easy for you guys. And we're going to move on now. Now this one's going to use the exact same numbers. Well, all we're going to do is put parentheses in a different spot to see how it could possibly be a different answer. So now we have 3 plus 2 inside of parentheses, and then times 4 equals x. So go ahead and pause and get this worked out on your own. Okay, according to the order of operations, what are we going to do first? We need to make sure we do the parentheses first. Even though there's addition in there, we still do what's inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, we're going to do that first, which is 3 plus 2, which is 5. Bring down the rest of the problem, including the equal sign and the variable. And that leaves us now with a multiplication problem, which is 5 times 4. And that is how we solve for x on this one. Hopefully you guys didn't get tripped up on that. Remember to pay attention to the parentheses and make sure you're always following this order. And if you ever feel like I'm moving too fast, you always have the chance to be like, "Mr. Lewis, slow down." All you got to do is hit that pause button whenever you need to, and you can catch up on your own speed, okay? We're going to get a little harder now with number 3. So we have 2 sets of parentheses here. And we have 5 times 3. And we have 4 times 2 inside of parentheses with an addition symbol in the middle. So while we're getting a little harder, nothing still changes. We still do what's inside the parentheses first, because that's always what is first. Since we have 2 sets of parentheses in this problem, and they're not really touching each other, there's another operation inside. This is a chance for some of you guys where you guys can maybe take a shortcut and do 2 of them on the same step. So go ahead and hit pause and go ahead and work this out on your own right now. Okay, so here's what we should have. If we have two sets of parentheses, we can go ahead and do both of those at the same time. 5 times 3 is 15. Bring down the addition symbol, and 4 times 2 is 8. And all that does is it leaves us with just another simple addition problem. So 15 plus 8, and we should have that 23 equals x. Some of you are probably saying, Mr. Lewis, you said these are getting harder, but I don't think they're getting much harder. We're going to bring in a new element now, the exponent. And we all remember what an exponent is. And we also remember that it's really easy to get confused with it. When we have an exponent, that is signifying how many times we're going to multiply this base number. So again, it's not 4 times 2. 4 to the second power does not equal 8. It's 4 times 4 this many times. Okay? So 4 times 4 would equal, you're right, 16. So here we go. All of a sudden, because we have this new piece, that doesn't mean we got to do it first, right? We still follow the order of operations, which is parentheses, so we still need to start over here. So go ahead, and if you guys want to try this on your own, you guys can go ahead and hit pause and do it on your own. If you feel like you need a little bit of help, go ahead and do it along with me right now. Inside the parentheses, we have only just one problem, which is multiplication, so we're going to do that first. 3 times 2 is 6. And then remember, bring down the rest of the problem. And we just do that to stay organized so we don't get confused either. Because if you start just trying to do random parts, it's going to be a mess, and then you're not really going to have much order for the order of operations. So now we have exponents, division, and addition. And according to our acronym, we know that exponents is the first thing that we need to do. So again, 4 to the second power, or 4 squared, we don't say 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4, which is 16. Very good. And then you bring down the rest of the problem. And that leaves us with a division problem and an addition problem, which according to this, we know that we need to divide first. So 16 divided by 2 is 8 plus 6. And then it's just a simple addition problem. 8 plus 6 is 14. So x equals 14. Okay, we're starting to move along now. We have 2 more problems. And we're going to get a little trickier here. So again, nothing new in this problem. We have parentheses, we have exponents, multiplication, division, subtraction. Nothing tricky here. So, according to order of operations, where do we need to start? Keep that in mind, okay? So if you want to tackle this on your own, go ahead and hit pause, and you can go ahead and do it. If you feel like you need me to kind of guide you through it, then go ahead and follow along with me right now. We have a set of parentheses here, but we have an exponent, and when I'm looking at this, we need to decide, is our exponent on the outside of the parentheses, or is it on the inside? Because it's on the outside, it's not a part of the parentheses. So we need to do what is inside first. So now, within the inside, we still have to follow the order of operations. We have multiplication, and we have division. So which one do we need to do first? According to this, it says we got to multiply before we divide. But this bracket shows us it really doesn't matter which one we do. We got to make sure we go from the left to the right. So since we have multiplication first and then division, that's what we're going to do. So 3 times 4 is 12 divided by 2. And we're going to keep those parentheses still for when we do the rest of the problem. And we're going to bring down the rest. We're still working inside these parentheses. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And now, here's where we bring this exponent down. Whatever we get as our answer on the inside, now takes on that exponent that we had on the outside of the parentheses. So now all we do is we have two simple exponents with a subtraction symbol in between. So 6 squared, not 6 times 2. Don't write 12 and don't write 10 right here. It's 6 times 6, which is 36, minus 5 times 5, which is 25. Therefore, we know that x equals 11. Hopefully, you guys are sticking right with me, okay? Especially since we've gone over this before and this is a review. Hopefully this is really easy for you. We got one more problem, and we're going to kick it up a notch, okay? And we're going to put in an extra set of parentheses. Hopefully this doesn't confuse you at all. This doesn't need to be any harder, okay? When we're looking at this, we still see that we have parentheses right here. And once we go inside the parentheses, we still need to follow the same order of operations. And now that we're inside these parentheses, we see, oh, there's a set of parentheses here. So we know that that's what we need to do first. So we already know that right here is what we're going to tackle first. And what I see is exponents, exponents, and addition. So according to our order of operations, we need to make sure we do the exponents first. Okay? So start here. You guys go ahead and work on your own right now. And then when you guys get done, after you hit pause, hit play again, and we'll work through it together. If we're starting with our exponents, we have 2 squared and we have 2 to the 3rd power. So 2 squared is 2 times 2. Not because this is a 2, but because we're doing this one 2 times. So that equals 4. And right here we have 2 to the 3rd power, which is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So we can go ahead and do that. We still need to keep it inside those parentheses and bring down the rest of the problem. So we're still working inside the parentheses here. 4 plus 8 is 12. So now we have parentheses, and we have a division problem. We're still working the parentheses. 12 plus 10 is 22. Divided by 2, half of 22 is 11. So again, this is all stuff that you've known how to do for a long time. It's just making sure you put it together in the right order so we don't get an incorrect answer. Some of you guys like to work fast because you see that some of this stuff is easy, and that's when it throws you off of that order, okay? So I wanted to make sure we are going over this again, and you can have this video saved or you can watch it anytime, and you can have some different practice problems on here to do. Don't forget to please excuse my dear Aunt Sally and follow the order of operations. All right.